Good morning, Sainers, and welcome to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome back to Saints TV Weekly for March 31st, 2025, off the back of a huge win on Saturday against the Tigers. But before we get into that, let's thank the sponsor of this series. As always, Inglewood Coffee Roasters. Check out their website, www.inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au. They've got coffee, tea, chai products, 40% off. Use the discount code, and I dare say you'll enjoy it as much as you enjoyed Saturday. Well, Saturday was a very, very nice performance, Sainers. There's not too much else to say about that. The first half, a little bit scary against the Tigers. They battled. They kept it tight. It was 8 points at halftime, but it was that second half blitz of, I think, 14 goals to 2 or something like that. It was a big 74-point margin in the second half alone, which I don't think I've seen in a number of years. It was our third biggest win, I think, against the Tigers ever, and our biggest win since round 14, 2015, and that was against the Bombers. So it's been a long time coming, and it's nice that it wasn't led by just some senior players. It was led by so many young performances from players that still haven't even gotten close to hitting their ceiling in their careers, and they're just starting out, a lot of them. So the fact that our average age on the weekend was very close to Richmond's, I think in terms of games played, it was 80 to 87 our way. That is an awesome sign, and we've got young players to come back who are best 22, best 23 players, which is super exciting. So just to round it out, the final score, it was exactly 20 goals, 15, so a whopping 35 shots on goal, 135 to Richmond 7-11-53. And I think fun fact is that if you take our last quarter alone, which was 8 goals 3, that is 51. 8 goals 4 it was, 52 points. We would have lost the entire game by 1 point if you just take our last quarter against Richmond's entire game. That's how dominant that second half was. And our third quarter was 6 goals 5. So massive quarter there, and hopefully we can continue it. We'll talk about it a bit later, but we saw Jack Steele was laid out with his knee. Angus Hastie replaced him. O'Connell was subbed at quarter time. I think that's concussion, so he's definitely not going to be playing against Port Adelaide this weekend. And then Stocker, Liam Henry. There's a number of players in the VFL that actually perform well, so we'll talk about that shortly. But first, let's quickly go through the injury updates. Obviously, these will formally update tomorrow afternoon, but these are the latest. So Hunter Clark is TBC. Liam Stocker was 1 week, so he should be fit and ready to go. Cooper Sharman played, so that's great. Max King was listed as 1 to 2 weeks. We're getting agonizingly close, but there was rumours that maybe he's hurt his hamstring from last week in training. Haven't heard an update from the club, so I'm just going to go with what they've said. 1 to 2 weeks there for his knee. Dan Butler, the same, 1 to 2 weeks, but with the way Higo and Collard are working, I don't know, do you guys think he's just a straight in for Collard? Because I don't actually necessarily think he is. The Flying Viking supposedly will play VFL coming up this weekend, which is super exciting, so he's not far away from an AFL debut. Filippo, 4 to 5 weeks. Dougal Howard, 4 to 5 weeks. Paddy Dow, TBC. So on the injury front, we're kind of improving every week, which is good. And obviously we're missing Liam O'Connell from the weekend. Hopefully Steele doesn't add his name to this list and it was just precautionary, but only time will tell, and I'm sure we'll hear from the club very soon about that. In terms of the VFL, as I alluded to, Sandy played Richmond at RSCA Park and led for pretty much the entire day. They just fell away in that last quarter, went goalless, and I think Richmond kicked the last 4 goals of the game. They won by 6 points, so it was 11-8-74 Sandy to 11-14-80 to Richmond. They took it home by 6 points, but in terms of standout performances for our possible St Kilda players, St Kilda listed players, Ari Schoenmaker, 30 disposals, 1 goal, 7 marks, 2 tackles, highest rated player on the ground. Hugh Boxall, 1 goal, 18 disposals, and if you don't mind, 15 tackles. What is that guy eating? 15 tackles. What was the next best? The next best was 6, and that was Liam Henry. That's massive from Hugh Boxall. So debut incoming at some point, 5 clearances to go with that. So he had a big day at the office. He was equal ranked with Ari Schoenmaker there. Harry Boyd had a good day, 16 disposals, 37 hit-outs. McLennan, 20 disposals. He's a shout because Webster, I believe, hurt himself as well. So we might need a new back pocket, but Stocker might be that player. Patrick said 2 points, 16 disposals, 7 marks, 3 tackles. Good day there. Zane Cordy, 2 goals. James Barrett, a lot of people talking him up on his performance. 12 disposals, 6 marks, 3 tackles. Liam Henry, 1 goal, 11 touches. So not too sure if he's absolutely ready to go yet. But you always find that some of the better players just kind of cruise through VFL and get match fitness, and then they play so much better with better players around them in the AFL. Jack Carroll, 17 disposals, 3 tackles, and going all the way down, Alex Dodson, only the 2 disposals and 3 hit-outs. So I'm not sure if he played a full game, but that's pretty quiet numbers there. But overall, there's a couple of players there that could come back on top of Stocker, Butler. I don't know, they might surprise us and bring in King. I have no idea. I doubt it, but we've got players coming back, which is exciting. So the battle for spots is heating up, and that's what you want. That's absolutely what you want. Swinging to this weekend's game, round 4. We take on Port Adelaide at 3:20 p.m. Sunday, April 6th. It's going to be a big one. They're our bogey team, Sainers. We need to get it done. I'm sick and tired of losing to this team. I think we all are. And I think the only way we can really, acknowledge that we are making progress is to start beating some of these teams we just can't beat. The last 3, 82-72 their way, 60-62 their way, 49-93 their way in the preseason. But we just don't seem to handle Port Adelaide very well, especially over there. I feel like even that the game where we led and we almost made finals off it, but Paddy Ryder and Robbie Gray broke our hearts. I feel like that was a moment in history where if we had got over the line in that game, I dare say the monkeys off the back and they would no longer be our bogey team. But because they ended up beating us, history has gone the way it has. So if we can go there and get a job done, they weren't great against Essendon. They got pumped by Collingwood and they beat Richmond. So their form isn't great. And basing on what I've read online, a lot of their fans are quite nervous about this game, which is quite flattering. So hopefully we go there with some fearless football and get the job done, but that remains to be seen. I love that the AFL's also just put an article out 3 days ago saying the SA Saints fixture quirk to see St Kilda hit the road, spend a whole week on the road in the lead up to gather round. A quirk? How can you say it's a fixture quirk? You made the fixture. You put it together. You didn't just put it online into a generator and just pumped it out and just said, hey, this is the fixture. You methodically put fixtures together and you spend months doing it, supposedly, and now you're saying it's a fixture quirk where St Kilda has now had to play 3 games in South Australia in the first 5 weeks. 3 games. That's equal to Adelaide and Port. That's ridiculous. Quirk. Yeah, all right. Anyway, calm down, Jake. Swinging to tipping now, and I got 7 out of 8, so I'm climbing the ranks. I'm now 77th out of 225, so go me. Little pump up there for myself. And who got the perfect score? Because someone did. Ashman 40 did. He got 80, and he got the exact margin too, which is crazy. So he was 0 in the margins. Johansson was so close, got 8 as well, but not quite in the margins. And Ellie Matthews 12, 8, not quite in the margins. As we know, the margin is the deciding factor if multiple people get perfect scores. So Ashman 40, congratulations, you have won the cash prize for this week. So hit me up and I'll organise that for you. A lot of people got 7, and it looks like Port Adelaide was the main one that screwed a lot of people. A lot of people tipped Port over the Bombers, and 50-50 on the Dogs. Carlton, everyone tipped us. I don't think anyone tipped Richmond, surely. Like, who would have tipped Richmond? Okay, there was a couple of people that tipped Richmond. Fair enough. So yeah, that is the new Sainers. Very, very excited there to get the win and to be back talking Saints footy in a positive note. 2 wins in a row. Let's keep it going. We've got Port Adelaide on the weekend. Saints TV Weekly, obviously right now. We've got the podcast tonight, so get in your questions for myself and Ari. And then we've got Woody's breakdown. Tomorrow, Ari's best 23 selection video coming into the Port game, which is going to be probably his toughest one yet. And then obviously the preview dropping on Thursday with the teams Thursday night. So plenty to come this week, Sainers. Thank you very much for watching my reviews. Obviously out, 5 Things We Learned dropped yesterday, so check that out if you haven't already. And obviously support Inglewood Coffee Roasters who sponsor this video. So on that note, Sainers, take care, enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.